I remember a time when Mazda was committed to keeping their products under the 3 million Philippine peso mark. And I'm talking about the then flagship CX-9. It wasn't pride or anything, but it was more of an attentiveness to premium products at a fair trade. Now, regardless of how every huff and puff is clearly explained, price is always going to be the big bad wolf. So if Mazda's sales passed the 3 million Philippine peso mark, they better come up with a damn good reason other than a fairy tale. Meet the damn good reason, the 2024 CX-90. Damn! There are two trim levels available for the CX-90. You have the 7-seater, which comes in at 3,680,000 Philippine pesos, and then this 6-seater turbo exclusive that comes in at 3,780,000 Philippine pesos. The app, on the other hand, the AutoDeal app, is better at free, available on iOS and Android, and it can help connect you to dealers nationwide and 5-star agents to help you find the best car at the best price. The nameplate is the brand's global first, most technologically advanced, and second model built on Mazda's large product platform that features its most powerful engine ever, a front-engine, rear-wheel bias, all-wheel drive with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Both trims are equipped with an inline-six 3.3-liter gasoline Skyactiv turbo alongside a mild hybrid system that produces 280 horses and 450 Newton-meters of torque, mated to a Skyactiv drive 8-speed automatic transmission. Devoid of a torque converter, the mild hybrid system can propel the CX-90 independently, which has sparked some form of internal debate. This is the same engine and system as found on the CX-60, and we've had our reservations on that. But Mazda has updated the transmission programming of the CX-60 and the CX-90 as well, but we'll reserve our judgment on that when we go out on a drive a little bit later. Oh, and in case you're wondering, 6.5 in the city and 16.5 on the highway, which, to be honest with you, doesn't really bother me all that much because even with a mild hybrid system, fuel efficiency isn't why you get an inline-six. There aren't many reasons to stray from words like bold, striking, and refined when you lock into a CX-90. The combination of headlamp and grille signatures on the front clip are barely a second to the automaker's symbol. The elongated yet proportional hood bodes very well on the car's wider stance, which sprawls on a wheelbase over 3,000 millimeters long. The side profile combines subtle and pronounced lines shaping fluidity with an indistinct flex at a time when mass manufacturers have gone quite the opposite of 6 cylinders. Ventilated discs are home behind 21-inch diamond-cut wheels wrapped in 275/45s, elevating the mighty vehicle 203 millimeters above the ground. A possible point of contention, the rear isn't as flattering, but incorporates slender lights from the center which push outward, forming a familiar Mazda trait. Exhaust tips hide well beneath chrome hints that can be found on the skirts, sills, and front clip, finished in a combination color named Artisan Red that could lay shame to a vixen. Now, I could sit for months on end contemplating on how else to describe this car, but nothing is ever going to come close as to how my wife described it, which is, ay basta, it's a sexy beast and I'd tap that.
You let your wife say that?
Number one, yes, she actually did say that, and number two, I kind of agree. Open the power tailgate and there's definitely enough room even behind the third row. Good enough for hand-carried luggage, which is not bad at all.
Wait. Why is it really like this?
I don't know.
It's set for your height.
Where was I? Oh yeah, flat lip, you can easily put luggage in, and then you can maximize the space to 1,163 liters when you fold the third row, which can easily fit 2 balikbayan boxes and this luggage right here. And then if you need more space, you can also fold the second row But why would you? I mean, this, after all, is an executive car. To do so would be like buying a fountain pen to create graffiti on a brick wall, or getting a designer bag and using it as a gym bag. Just no. No. Hell no. It was set for my height. While you can access the third row quite easily, the seats here, well, just aren't for everyone. Even under-tall passengers like myself will find wanting for thigh support. However, you do have cup holders, a Type-C charging point, and air vents on either side, with comfortable leather, mind you, which can make trips inside the city seem that much shorter. The very large door and almost 90-degree opening makes great for ingress and egress, even for seniors to get into their seats immediately. And so does the very narrow area that you need to clear to get into your seats. Huh? I like that. Now, this second row represents the largest difference from the Turbo to this Turbo Exclusive. You've got seats that are only 2 instead of 3. It's not a bench, it's your own seats, which is really quite comfortable and exclusive, hence the name. With a center console that is always here. What is it again, Jack?
Fixed.
Fixed.
I wish my finances were fixed.
Yeah, so do I, buddy. This center console has a cubby hole here, which is quite deep, 2 cup holders, and even a drawer underneath. The seat material is also different, which is that it's tan colored and suede in the middle. Not the best place to have children. By the way, sorry Mazda, I had my kids back here, but they were kind of behaved. Also, the most underrated feature you can get under the Philippine sun, which is cool seats. Yeah, baby. But both trims do spoil the passengers back here with 2 air vents found in the center. Right underneath that, you have air and temperature controls. You have 2 USB charging points. You've got privacy shades on the side. You have a share of the panoramic roof up on top. Thank you very much, Earl. Does move kind of slow. And also a share of the 12-speaker Bose system inside this car, which is so good, it makes it sound as if that Lisa Stansfield is inside the car with you.
Who?
You really don't know who Lisa Stansfield is? Do you?
No.
Man, I'm old.
You did mention about, ingress and egress for seniors. Maybe that's something that you can relate to.
Boy, I will kick. Come here. I'm gonna kick your butt. It is, as I said, the most technologically advanced car in Mazda's stable, led by 2 12.3-inch full-color screens that are pretty clear day or night, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging pad, and several USB ports. It's also equipped with a driver personalization system. All you gotta do is enter your height, and then the facial technology will take care of the rest, adjusting your seat, steering wheel, mirrors, even the sound and heads-up display is positioned to your preset preference. The CX-90 is brimful of advanced safety features like radar cruise, driver monitoring and attention alert, and the all-impressive kinematic posture control. I do have one qualm. See, in the interest of safety, Mazda has done away with the touchscreen on the infotainment system. Now, while the ergonomics of the car are absolutely great, everything now is just passed through the commander knob. And while the menus are pretty easy to get to, it just might take you forever and a day to get to a couple of things. What doesn't take forever and a day is getting this car up to speed, which we're going to do right now. But before we do please consider subscribing to our channel, because we create all these videos so that Earl can pay child support.
Huh?
Well, I'm sorry, was that privileged information?
What? I didn't know that.
Well, I guess it's out in the open now. When you put the CX-90 through its paces around twists and turns, not only does the inline 6 come alive, but so too does the kinematic posture control. Now, in a nutshell, what that does is during a high G turn, it applies a little bit of brake on the inner rear tire, thus minimizing body roll. Now, that's the mumbo-jumbo part of it, but in my own terms, dude, it's like sorcery. I don't know how it works, but it just does. More so, it's isolation. Granted, it has 2 more cylinders, and any 4-cylinder that I've ever been in has vibrations and whatnot. But here, much less vibrations and noise. And here's the odd part also. I don't know how it does it, but not only does this car push well, but when you're traveling at 100 kilometers per hour, it really seems like you're only traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. It's so stable. And it has this ability, I don't know how it does it, but when you punch the throttle, as I will right now, it will accelerate quite quickly, as you can hear the engine come alive. But it's not as if your head is buried into the seat, and yet you're achieving these speeds quite quickly. No idea. No idea. The suspension in the CX-90 is quite noticeably firmer than that of the CX-9. Where the CX-9 is more plush and comfortable, here it's definitely much more, well, sporty is the right way to say it. It feels like it's gripping the road a heck of a lot more, much like I would white knuckle my seat on an airplane during turbulence. I'm scared.
I know a thing or two about that. Remember El Nido?
El Nido, man.
This guy was holding my hand.
It was a necessity. Anyway, the car, despite weighing 2 tons, is still extremely agile. It's at lower speeds that I found somewhat of a hiccup. And mind you, this is just my take on it because I've had passengers, family, and Jack alike, and it seems like it's only the driver that notices this. I feel as if that the transmission has somewhat of an identity crisis. It doesn't know whether it wants to be sporty or smooth at times. It's really strange. And I've found that you have to give your throttle input a little bit more context to be able to communicate your intentions to the car. It's very uncharacteristic, and to be truthful, it's kind of giving me flashbacks of what the CX-60 was when it first came out without the updates. Again, it's uncharacteristic of that of a Mazda, and I'm not sure if any updates will be able to, fix this particular problem with the transmission. Maybe it's just the nature of the hardware that the software can't fix. I'm kind of hoping not, because truth be told, the CX-60 has improved dramatically. I'm kind of hoping the same for this. But again, as it stands, I just really don't know how to essentially deal with it. But, like MasterCard, for everything else, there's a 6-cylinder. Yahoo! It's a good ending, no doubt, but it may not be the fairy tale ending that everybody's looking for. A brick out of place, maybe, just maybe, the big bad wolf won this round. But even so, Mazda continues to develop firmware updates even to already released cars, as they've done in the past with the CX-60. And that just really shows Mazda's commitment. I don't think it's going to be very long before Japan figures out a formula for its identity dilemma. And when it does, this, instead of its price, will be the new big bad wolf. And that is a fairy tale ending I would love to see go wrong. More lechon for everybody.